Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review slash knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Divo Knives Pony Stout V2 that I believe is a White Mountain Knives exclusive. I will link it down in the description. It's really hard for me to get this stuff out exactly, when it drops, but I think this dropped on March 27th. I don't know when you guys are seeing this video, but I'll make sure that the link is down there. There were a bunch of different variations, and honestly, the price seems somewhat reasonable. This version I think is super cool. But yeah, it'll all be linked down there. These are Riot made knives. Thank you so much to both White Mountain Knives and Divo Knives for sending me this sample here for me to share with everybody. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and make sure your notifications are turned on. Let's go ahead and measure this knife. This is not a big knife. It is a knife that is on the smaller side. We have it's a little over 6.5 inches, just a hair over 6.6 maybe. Blade length is coming in at 2.85 and your cutting edge about 2.7. This is going to be too small for some people. Truthfully, though, not too small for me. Normally, I like a bigger knife, but I can get a full grip on this if I'm choking up on it. And I wear an XL glove, so basically like a normal adult male hand size. If your hands are my size or smaller, you will really enjoy this. And that has been the case with other Divo knives in the past. So I've kind of come to just assume that I'm going to enjoy it. Let's go and do some size comparisons here. Sorry, I got a little off track there. Any custom scales in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and others. So up against my full-size Excalibur and my compact Excalibur, you can see that this guy is a little shorter than compact, but it does share very similar ergonomic lines with close to the same amount of ergonomic space back here. This is a compact Excalibur, only a hair longer for ergonomic space. So let's put it up against let's just do two more. Let's do the Spyderco Para 3. And let's do the Hogue Deca, wherever it is. It is gone. What else can we do? Let's do the Vosteed Raccoon. I think that'll work just fine. How is the action on this knife? Everything about this knife feels really good. It feels very indicative of Riot. The action is very smooth. I can't feel the bearings on the inside. It's very smooth. The detent, awesome. Access to the opening hole here, very easy. Access to the lock bar, also, look at that, super plentiful. Your reverse flick, also awesome. I have no issues with the action whatsoever. Very nice. Let's do carry profile. The Deca was literally right here. Carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This is not a thick knife. It is contoured though, but about the same as the Para 3, maybe slightly thicker. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. Very compact, very easy knife to carry. No questions about it. I'm going to go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness while this is just sitting right here. Blade stock thickness on this guy coming in at 113 thousandths. Nice and thin there. Let's go ahead and weigh it. We're looking at titanium. We've got some cool kind of like neon, almost like an 80s carbon fiber here, which I think is kind of neat. And then we have DLC Vanax on this guy. You do have a few different options. The Vanax is the same. It's the same blade steel throughout as far as I know, but you can get coated and uncoated versions of this knife. Vanax is one of, if not my very favorite steel ever. Do we have milling for weight reduction? Let's take a look here. Yeah, a little bit. You can also see in there that the numbering, this is 42. Can we see it? This is 42 of 50, so this is a run of 50. Weight is 3.6 ounces, so decent ratios on a smaller knife that is full titanium. Your balance is a little bit, it's almost in the middle of the primary index finger position, just a slight ways back of the pivot, no issue there. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. So we are looking at probably T8 throughout. T8, we have T8 for the inlay. We have T8 for the body screws there, and the pocket clip screw is hidden. So T8, very good. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. All right. I have reviewed past versions, past variations of the Pony Stout and have very much enjoyed them. This is no exception. It is very ergonomic. The lock-in is good. The actual edge geometry is also very good. I have no idea what Riot heat treats their Vanex to. As many of us have speculated, Riot is capable of hitting, by community standards, optimal ranges for various steels. Taylor will be down in the comments section, and his website will be at the bottom of my description if you want to check out current HRC testing data on a lot of popular stuff. They are capable of hitting, for example, M390 at 60 plus. I believe that, it's possible that designers are given an option for range. The lower the HRC hardness range, the less expensive it is to create, and it potentially could bring the cost down on the knife. I think some people would hear about that and say that's how they make room, right? They save some money on HRC hardness, which absolutely 100%, if you're aiming for a lower range on a steel that is optimized harder, right? Any range, a lower number. If you're aiming for a lower number, it's less expensive to do than a higher number, right? A lot of people would say that's how they create room for markup, and they're profiting off of that. I imagine, if that's all true, then it's a possibility of both, making room for a profit and at the same time, maybe lowering the price of the cost, or lowering the cost of the knife overall, the price of the knife overall. Don't know. All I can do is speculate there. I have no factual information on that, right? What we do have some factual information on is Riot heat treating their M390 lower than what the community considers optimal. There's plenty of people in the community, whether they're knife makers or knife designers or whatever, and I know, right, people are thinking, does he know that this is Vanex? He just said it was Vanex. He's talking about M390. Yes, I do. I'm making an example, or making a point here. We've had examples that Taylor has shown, Riot made knives of M390 hitting 59 HRC. There are plenty of people in this community who would say 59 HRC is just fine for M390. I'm not one of those people. In my opinion, which is not professional at all, just from what I've read, M390 seems to do a lot better at 60 plus, especially 61, 62, right? So my question is, are we hitting Vanex at its optimal range? My knife is made out of Vanex, and Kunwu does it. The optimal range that Kunwu has been hitting, and largely what I see all around the community, is 60 to 61. Kunwu's hitting that. Are we hitting 60 to 61 through Riot? I have absolutely no idea. I would hope so, because Vanex is really going to shine there. A steel that is very similar in performance to MagnaCut, which is one of the most optimized pocket knife steels ever, right? So, is Riot capable of doing it? 1,000%. They have some of the nicest quality on the market. Are they doing it with this knife? Don't know. I use these casually, carry them casually, and obviously my casual carry with this knife is not going to result in anything that would give me an impression one way or the other, right? I use these like a normal person uses a pocket knife. It's not professional testing. I'm a very casual knife user, right? But seems fine. Factory edge and factory geometry are very, very good on this knife, right? So the truth is that even if this was hit slightly suboptimally, the edge geometry and just the general attention to, like Riot making sure that their factory edge is nice and clean. Yeah, like this is nice and thin behind the edge. So it's a good slicer either way. Real nice. Real nice. The size is also great, and I also personally love this blade shape for EDC. Just with the tip down, it's easy to do draw cuts and things like that. Super clean, really nice. No issues with fit and finish whatsoever. I also think it looks cool. I like the look of it. Really like the jimping here. It complements the index finger position well. The hole has been chamfered all the way around, so it's not an unpleasant experience, right? You have a nice tip still, a little swedge up top. Thickness, full thickness of the flat runs out to about 93, 95% the length of the blade. So honestly, a pretty purposeful, very functional blade. And if you go ahead with the DLC, you're going to have an additional scratch resistance and additional corrosion resistance, which is not necessary on Vanex, given that it is insanely stainless. But yeah, you'll get that. The inlay is a nice little touch here. The knife would otherwise be very plain, in the scale. So the inlay adds a little pop of color, which I really appreciate on this all black one. There are some less, you know, if you don't like the black mixed with color combination, then you do have some more, I hate to say normal, but like, you know, titanium and like satin finish with like a less vibrant carbon fiber or inlay, right? So you'll have an option there to go a little less vibrant if you want to. I believe that the frames here are they're probably PVD coated. It's probably not DLC. It doesn't look like DLC, but that would be my guess. Simple backspacer with a lanyard slot there. That's fine. Pocket clip is very good. For being so small, they did actually hit it at the right, maybe a little over the 50% mark, but nothing here is going to create a hot spot for you. I mean, I barely noticed the pocket clip at all. It's a good looking clip. It's symmetrical. It's a bummer they couldn't find a way to mount it for the other side, but okay. Your ramp here, very present, so in and out of the pocket, totally fine. No sharp spots, anything like that. Your frame lock, because of the inlay here, actually nests underneath it, which is cool. That means that you don't have to worry about squeezing it too hard or having your fingers in the wrong place while you're deploying it, which is a little hard to do. It's really, that's only an issue that comes up if it's got a flipper tab. But either way, I appreciate that. I like the little, you know, inlay thing guarding over the frame lock so that you can kind of just use it without having to worry about it, right? Your stop pin in the open position is actually internal, and I believe it's the same way. You can actually see it right in there. I think it's the same way in the closed position. So you're going to have this area. Ooh, we have a little debris there that's kind of getting stuck on top of the detent ball. I like taking this opportunity. If you ever have an issue, if you ever have a situation where the knife is smooth, it's so smooth, and then all of a sudden it's like, ew, the action is all of a sudden getting gritty. Oh my gosh, is there something wrong? What it means is that a little tiny piece of debris on the inside has likely gotten caught between the detent ball and the blade face. So literally all that needs to be done to fix this, and this debris could have been introduced to this. I'm using KPL here. I've got it down in my description. But this little piece of debris could have been introduced by something in my office. I put a little more than a drop on that ball. It's probably a little excessive, but we're going to move that away so the ball can now ride on the surface. We want to get that KPL nice and mixed in there, and I can already feel it's completely eliminated. Yep. Real nice. Now we can shake it closed and we are good. So probably something that got in there, either that was already sitting on that and it just sort of worked its way over to the ball, the blade face, or it was from this office. It was some thing floating around in the air. Perhaps an aerial booger of my own got caught in there, but it is completely and totally fine. So anyways, so it's a good opportunity to advertise KPL because there's affiliate links down there. KPL is really good stuff. Knife pivot lube, right? But 10 weight nano oil or KPL, both of them are in my description. Those are great for just putting on the detent ball or any surfaces that sort of rub together during actuation of your knife, and it'll fix everything, or usually fix everything. Anyways, though, stop pin is internal for the closed position, and your plunge grind, here you go, right there. Let you guys take a look. What does this say? Oh, it says Van-X underneath there. That's nice. Base price of this knife is $260. That is very expensive for a pocket knife. Is it fair? Let's go over what we're looking at here. It's $275 for the highest. Like if you're like this one here, I believe is $275 for DLC Van-X. Number one, it's Van-X. Van-X is very expensive, right? As far as like single composition steels, Van-X is one of the most expensive as far as I know, right? Obviously, it's not going to be as expensive as stuff like Rex 121 or is it CPM 15V? There's some really wild exotic stuff, right? Non-combination, non-multi-composition Damascus, right? I'm sorry, like your Damasteel, your Damacor, obviously these are more exotic, but they're multi-composition, so single compositions, right? We have contouring, we have an inlay. We also have Riot quality, which even though they are not always willing to get those HRC numbers up there where the community wants them to be, they are plenty capable of it, and their fit and finish is still top tier, right? So this is on the smaller side, but size doesn't always perfectly dictate the price. At the end of the day, this is a contoured titanium Riot with nice, it's not regular carbon fiber. Like, it's really nice looking carbon fiber. This is more expensive stuff as well. It's more expensive than your regular carbon fiber. We have two parties involved, both Riot and Divo and White Mountain. You know, I mean, obviously they're going to make money off selling it on the retail side, so you can't really call them a party, right? But it's sold exclusively at White Mountain Knives. That's separate from the two parties involved, which we're trying to come to the conclusion as far as whether or not the price point is justified, right? We have a hollow grinds. In this case, we have DLC coating. I'm not too upset with this price tag. This exhibits a lot of the qualities that I expect at this price point. I would love, like personally, I would like a version of this that's like 7.5 inches or so, maybe closer to 8 inches, but I know that if that was the case, like the additional cost of materials there would probably drive the price up over 300, which honestly wouldn't be bad. So ultimately, I have to come to the conclusion that this is a pretty fair price. I really don't have much of an issue with this. I think that this is a nice knife. Obviously, if you're just like, it's knife, like if we're judging it off of price and ability to cut, yeah, you can find yourself a nice $20 to $50 pocket knife that'll do fine, right? But if you want the better steel, you want the better fit and finish, you want titanium, you want carbon fiber, you want the better detent, you want all of the tolerances, you want all of that stuff, right? You're going to have to pay for it. And as far as other things in the general, competition zone, I feel like this is fairly competitive. It's not the most amazing price tag I've ever seen, but it's far from unfair. I think this is pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and say recommendable knife. No surprise there from Divo. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.